welcome to episode number 175 of the Canadian Prepper Podcast. We are recording on August the 28th, 2022. My name is Eric, I'm host of the show, based in Southern Ontario, hunter, target shooter, ham radio operator, and of course, computer geek. As a first responder, I witnessed an over-reliance on emergency services and started a small preparedness company to help people get better prepared for at least 72 hours, if not longer.
And I'm Jeff. I am based in Central Ontario. I am a target shooter, ham radio operator, general overall handyman, and weather nerd.
Hey guys, I'm Brad. I'm in Eastern Ontario. Usually, right now, I'm podcasting from Lewisport, Nova Scotia. I'm consider myself, Newfoundland. My mom just popped in here. Yes, Lewisport, Newfoundland. Consider myself a part-time amateur prepper since Ice Storm of '98, constantly trying to better myself.
I'm Greg. I'm in Southeast Georgia, former infantryman, avid prepper, and whiskey enthusiast.
Yeah. All right. If you want to help support the show,
Alan and I'm late.
I forgot Alan's here. I took you out of the notes.
I noticed that.
Thanks for showing up, Alan. Thanks for showing up, Alan.
Just for the nerdiest thing I'm ever going to say, 175 of something is the demi-semi-septicentennial.
I don't even know what that means.
No idea.
It means half of the half of 7.
That is.
Why do you know that?
And that's important.
As we were coming on the air.
I'm a little concerned about the carbon monoxide levels at your location, Alan.
So am I.
All right. If you want to help support the show and keep the Canadian Prepper Podcast on the air, you can buy some swag. We've got the Canadian Prepper Podcast t-shirt and the tactical Velcro patch available at prepperpodcast.ca. All the proceeds help keep the lights on and the backup generator fueled.
And if you're enjoying the show, please take a few minutes and like us on Facebook and submit a review on iTunes. Also, we want your feedback, good or bad, or if there's just a topic you want us to cover, you can email us at feedback@prepperpodcast.ca.
All right, so we've got some binge-worthy content for you in this episode. We're going to start off with some recent news. We'll update you on what we've done for our preparedness since the last episode. Then we're going to get into the main topic, and it's Apocalyptic shopping spree. So let's move into the news. So I've got an article here, and yes, I know it's from the Toronto Star. We can boo and hiss all we want. It's like last week, I know, but they're posting some good stuff. I know it's weird, but it's relevant. So it's
Maybe
titled
Turned a Corner?
I doubt it. Just somebody's writing and they'll be fired soon, I'm sure. Rising costs have sent Canadians back to the land. Goats, gardens, and great grandmothers are making a comeback. So it talks about the pandemic and wild inflation have sparked a sudden surge of interest in homesteading. Can it make a difference when the land is when the land is out of reach for most? So it's a pretty in-depth article. It goes into a whole bunch of details about homesteading and gardens, and gives some information about where you can maybe find some of that stuff in and around the Toronto area if you choose to be there for whatever reason. It's a neat article to check out.
And then eventually complains about the fact that there isn't enough of that in 37 stories of Toronto high-rises.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've got a couple of quick articles here. One of them, I kind of debated whether or not to put it out there, but I did anyways. So basically, everybody's well aware of the war that's been going on for, what is it? I think it's over 6 months now. But there's been a lot of shelling that is threatening one of the Ukrainian nuclear plants. So there's an article there from Reuters about it. More than anything, I mean, it just could lead to a meltdown or a catastrophic nuclear accident that could damage crops. Who knows how far the fallout could potentially go in the air. So just something interesting to have.
Really good to keep in the back of your mind, right?
Yeah. The second one, which again should be no shock to anybody. And again, more boo hiss at CTV News, but that BC Walmart stores are having a problem with a lot of empty shelves. And of course, they're blaming supply chain issues and everything else.
At least you're not blaming Ian.
We blame Ian for a lot of things.
Yeah. We could blame Ian if we wanted. Absolutely no problem with that.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Who's Ian?
Alan in disguise.
There's Alan and there's not Alan, right?
Yes, so it's not Alan.
Yeah. But it's not just BC. I was in our local Walmart a few nights ago, and I was actually quite surprised at the amount of empty shelves that were there, especially in and around the meat department. There was next to nothing left on the shelf for chicken, for any kind of ground beef, sausage, that kind of stuff. It was pretty slim pickings. So it's not just BC, and I still think it's going to get worse, obviously, before it gets much better. So
I might just to play devil's advocate for a second there. Had no trouble finding things at a competition, like a competitor store. So it might be a Walmart issue as opposed to an overall supply chain issue.
And it could very well be.
Point.
You're absolutely right. Yep.
I hit 3 different Walmarts on the way here from Ontario. Never did I see any problem with any sort of empty shelves at all. Everything was full. The last one we hit was Grand Falls, Windsor, and everything was packed full. There's no problems here in the East Coast that I saw anyways.
Here in Georgia, I haven't had any issues at our local Walmarts well, I don't go to the Walmart market. My wife does, but yeah, I haven't really seen any issues in the local one anyway.
Oh, maybe it's just a localized thing then.
I just got some intel from an anonymous source. Apparently at the beginning of the lockdowns and the madness that ensued, Walmart was demanding 8, 10, 12 months of backstock on specifically non-perishables, which changed all their par levels to ridiculous numbers, and so now they can't keep up. So their reorder points are so high, it's triggering a warning in their system, and that's why they can't get anything out in good time. Allegedly.
Interesting. Allegedly. Gotcha.
Allegedly.
That's pretty detailed information for allegedly, but we'll take
Were you able to confirm this report?
I can neither confirm nor deny the source.
All right. So we move into what we've done lately for preps.
I didn't do anything. I drove to Newfoundland this week. I'm on a family vacay for my brother's wedding.
How's that new bridge? I've heard it's good.
What's that?
How's that new bridge going out there? I heard it was great.
Well, the bridge was very rocky, and it had an engine behind it, and it took only about 100 cars, and it was 7 hours to get from North Sydney to Port aux Basques.
Wow.
It was good. The ferry ride over was fine. We didn't go to PEI. We don't plan on it, not this trip anyways. But yeah, that's what I did this week.
That's a great drive. That's a great time. I love being out on the East Coast.
Hey, Jeff.
I did some food prep. Did a bit of fuel rotation. In line with my prepping stuff, I attempted to purchase a All-American pressure canner that showed up on Facebook Marketplace. I made contact with the seller 17 minutes after it was posted, and it was already sold. So
Crazy.
There is another one that's more of a substantial drive away. I had reached out to them before because I thought their price was way too high, and they blew me off. And I just noticed today that they've dropped their price again. So I'm going to reach out to them and see if they're still interested in my original offer, and we'll go from there. I'd like to get one.
If that's something that's my way, just let me know. I can go pick it up on your behalf.
Yeah, no, it's down in Niagara Falls, so unfortunately.
I'm not that far out of the way. I can be bribed.
Yeah, well, I mean, my mom lives in Hamilton, and that's where I'm going to be
With
going.
Eric's
so
beer,
I'm
right?
closer.
Yeah.
I hear the offer, though. Thanks. And just did some, I know, shocking,
This
some
is gonna be a weird
ham
one.
radio
Everybody get ready.
experimentation with Eric today, trying to do some of his little experiment. It really didn't work, but that's why you do it. That's why you test your stuff, see what works, what doesn't. So it was interesting, but we'll keep plugging away at it.
Come on, test your gear and find the limits. That's not something we do around here.
175 episodes, and we're just talking about it now.
Yeah.
For myself, I got 22 pounds of red kidney beans into Mylar bags, so that was pretty good. Got a good deal at Costco on those, so added those to the food storage. Did a little fuel rotation, nothing crazy. Just filled up a couple jerry cans from cans that I've used to run the play toys around here. As Jeff mentioned, did the near vertical incident skywave test. So we're trying to make contact with Kevin from another prepper group on Facebook called Spark. We set things up the way we thought it was supposed to be. It didn't quite work out. The bands were not in our favor today. We couldn't hear anything for the longest time. And then all of a sudden, about an hour or so in, could pick up a couple of stations, the Parks on the Air stations, and I made a call out to one. He came back and gave me a solid 5-9 reply saying he can hear me crystal clear, beautifully. And yeah, he was in California, so we overshot quite a bit. But hey, you know what? Again, that's why you test your gear and
aim the gun.
Yeah, exactly. We just got to figure out where our setup has gone wrong, and hey, that's half the fun. And you know what? There was some beer, so that's good. And
good time had by all.
Exactly. And that's exactly why we test our gear and learn how to use it ahead of time, because had this have been a shit hit the fan type of situation where we're trying to make contact, we wouldn't have done it. So we're just testing it out. We learned a lot along the way, and we're going to give it another try. So stay tuned. And we are looking for other ham operators in the area if you want to join in and help us out. Check out the Discord, and we'll get all the information in there for you. And then beyond that, finalized up a little deal with Jace Medical for antibiotics in Canada. So that's all it's all signed up, and they sent me these nice little cards to give out. So I don't know if those will show up, but
nice.
So now we can get Jace Medical in Canada. So if anybody is interested, flip me an email, and I can get that information out to you, and a discount code too. So, and apparently they send invoices or receipts from a Canadian pharmacy, so it should, and I say should because I don't know for sure, should be able to be claimed on benefits. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So, pretty pumped about that.
Speaking of benefits, the only thing I did that was prepping related this week was exercise my benefits and get myself a couple new pairs of glasses so I can have one in my truck, one at my home office, and one at my work desk.
And you'll still lose them.
I'll still lose them, absolutely. No, I finally pulled the trigger and registered for college this week, so I'll be going back to school in a couple of weeks.
Frat week.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. I've watched Animal House like 4 times just to get in the mood.
We're gonna have to come to the parties.
When and where?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Let me know about a month ahead of time. It's going to take me a minute to get there.
Start driving.
Drive.
I bet you're bringing the whiskey though, right?
We'll schedule around your arrival.
You bet I am. Jess and I went camping with our 2 dogs, Grayon and Sammy. Worked on several like backpacking, easy camping recipes, and tried out one of our water filtration systems, as well as other purification methods. Had a wonderful time doing it. Also sucked. Got my ham radio technician license since I've last been on. Got a radio put in my truck about 3 hours ago. It was a gift from a friend of mine, Mr. Lucas, KK4ZNJ. I'm pretty sure he was more excited about me getting my license than I was. First transmission, he was like, man, I've been waiting for this a long time. So had a lot of fun.
Good to hear, man.
I'm super excited to learn a lot more. I now understand how everybody feels when I talk about guns and cars and everything else, because he still talks and I don't understand a damn thing he's saying.
Welcome to the club.
I'm learning though. I'm learning. gonna do a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of studying on this. So I'm excited.
Ham Radio Crash Course is an absolutely phenomenal resource for that.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of them as well. Just I'm about to start studying for my general as well. So made contact with 4 countries that I can remember on my little UV5R while we were camping. Jessica is just as excited about it as I am. I cut it off. She was like, "What are you doing? Turn that thing back on." I was like, "All right." So she's going to start working on hers next.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome. Very nice.
Yeah, so when my wife and I both got our licenses. That was a good time.
So I'm the odd man out.
Mm-hmm.
There was never a question.
And there's no excuse for it. You've had lots of time.
Oh, I have.
Should probably fix that, Brad.
Yeah, that'll be done.
All right. Well, how about we move into the main topic? So this evening we've got a bit of a scenario for everybody. I'll read the scenario out. Then we're just going to open it up to the panel, and we'll start talking about what we would do given the scenario and how exactly we would think we would handle it. It is, of course, open to the live chat as well. So if anybody wants to jump in and give your opinions in the live chat, we will get them up on the screen. We'll talk about them as well. So the scenario is you're at a store of your choice. You hear on the radio or other form of communication that a shit at the fan type of situation has just occurred. So you can put in whatever shit at the fan situation you'd like to insert there. But it's just happened, and it's going to directly impact you. You've got $500 cash on you. What do you purchase and why? So I'll open it up to the panel, and let's get the discussion going on this one.
Well, my name's in here first for some reason, despite the fact that I wasn't going to be on the show until about 2 minutes after airtime.
Because I didn't get that far down the list to delete you.
So I don't have prices, but here's the plan. The store that I'm going to be in is a Myers, probably in Michigan, because that would be close enough to home to be reasonable. Okay. My first plan is the first thing I'm going to do is buy about 10 can openers, mostly for barter. The second thing I'm going to buy is 2 CO detectors because I have to.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
I'm going to spend the rest on whiskey, and I'm going to show up at Greg's house.
Yes. Take your pick. You can have whichever one.
That's the entirety of my plan. I'm going to show up with $450 worth of whiskey at Greg's place.
Yes. Every last one of us are making it out alive.
I will fix anything. I will build anything. I'm a decent cook, and I come bearing booze. That's the entire plan right there.
Come on in.
That I'll bring episode 175 of the Canadian Prepper Podcast to an end. We're all just going to Greg's house.
We're all going to Greg's house.
I don't know. I think it's a pretty solid plan. I'm just throwing it out.
I like it. I like it.
I'll go next because
sure.
I don't know. If I'm able to get back to my house, chances are I'm just going to be down the street at Walmart. If I can, my mom's in the comments. Hi, Mom. If I can get back to my house, I'm going to grab first thing, probably a power inverter for my truck from Automotive because I haven't jumped on that yet. If I can, go to Sporting Goods. I'm going to grab as much 12 gauge and 22 as I can. I'm going to get medical supplies, a lot of the Knorr's, like instant rice and the Idaho mashed potatoes, like the instant stuff, just stuff like that because it's high caloric, it's dense. It's going to last a long time. It's like $1 or $2. So you're not going to break the bank on that. And you can use those funds in another area as far as like a axe, hatchet, anything like that, medical supplies, over the counter stuff like, ibuprofen, aspirin, Tylenol, Tums, stuff like that. Because I think Tums definitely gets overlooked. I don't really get heartburn. About a month and a half ago, I got heartburn for like the first time in my life. I'm 31 years old, never had heartburn before. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? And my wife is like, you got heartburn. I was like, no, this is worse. This can't be heartburn. I took a Tums and I went to sleep.
It's not
So
a regular cold. It's
I was like, this is wrong. Something wrong here. Are you sure I'm not dying? I thought I was dying, but yeah. So, Sawyer Minis. Sawyer Minis are at our Walmart are about $21.97. 100,000. It's like 100,000 gallon filtration limit or something like that. So several of those. You can get the links that go right into your Sawyer Mini, and you can fill your Camelback through your quick disconnect for your little mouth spigot and everything. So those are super cool. Just actually learned about that adapter over this weekend. Was looking at doing the long trail hike in Vermont, which is 272 miles, and come across that, and I was like, yeah. So learned something new all weekend.
Here's the question. How much did Ian pay you to start talking about Sawyers?
None. I almost used mine this weekend. I was like, I've only got the two, one in both my bag and my wife's bag. I do have a life straw. I know y'all love life straws.
I really don't mind life straws. I think they're just fine. It's really just Ian that hates
I have a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one, and I used it while I was in Korea with the Army, stuff like that. But the Sawyer is definitely more versatile. There's a lot more options with the Sawyer. And I'm actually thinking about doing one of the homemade Berkeys just because I'm cheap and I don't feel like spending like $500 on a water filtration system. I'm not gonna. I can't justify that.
I'd like to see how it goes when you get it built. I'm kind of curious. I've heard about the home built ones. I've just never attempted it.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of videos, but never done anything yet.
I ordered my Berkey from Eric at Rapid Survival. And I like it. It's awesome. But yeah, I did a bunch of research online and YouTube, whatnot, as to the homemade ones. And I'm like, I'm going to buy one and then I'm going to try to copy what I've seen online. And hopefully, I bought 2 extra filters from Eric as well. And I'm going to try to make one that only takes 1 filter and put it into my camp trailer. So at least I have fresh water all the time. And make it the same way that they nest inside one another and put it all in the cupboard, put it away, and that's it. But I'd still like to see what you come up with, Greg.
Yeah, I found a guy who made his, and he just used like 2 5-gallon buckets, and it seemed really, really easy to do. But I mean, I'll definitely give it a shot. I love building things. I mean, I built half of those behind me, so.
Nice. So 2 5-gallon buckets is going to be on your $500 shopping list.
Yeah.
Just to get us back on track.
Yep. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. We can go off on tangents all we want. That's fine. I got all night. But
so I'll jump in next. So you have to look at the scenario as well. Just depending what it is, remember that. Or know that your vehicle may or may not operate. If it's an EMP or if it's something else, your vehicle may not run. So
that's a good point.
You can only carry, or you can only buy what you can carry. For food stuff, I'd be going after obviously anything non-perishable. I would hope that. Everybody would be stocked up on stuff already, so this would be just to add to the list. Bottled water, the obvious, the can opener. Meat, if there's something there, only buy enough that's going to last a day or two. If there's no power, there's no cooling. You're not going to have a fridge. There's no sense in buying all kinds of meat that's just going to go bad. Mm-hmm. I did also put down on my list, depending on what store you may be at, ammo.
Yeah.
I've got comfort items, so things like toilet paper, Kleenex, toiletries, matches, that kind of thing. If your vehicle operates and there's power, top up your fuel. You never know when it's.
Yeah, good point.
You may not have the power, or the gas stations may run out. If you're on the flip side and your vehicle's not going to operate and you know you're going to have to walk, grab yourself another pair of shoes or a good pair of hiking boots. If you're going to walk, then you're going to need decent footwear.
Yep, that's a good point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Pierre has a wonderful question.
Did I miss it? Where is it?
Pierre says, since shit hit the fan and world is ending, are hookers and blow out of the option list purchase?
No,
absolutely not.
No,
absolutely not. No. You buy whatever your heart tells you to buy. You don't let anybody stop you.
Especially if you're coming to Greg's, like
yeah.
Bring whiskey. You. Yeah.
Bring whiskey. I'll be on the roof. With the one on the end.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
If my wife and Greg's wife are listening, that's entirely a joke.
My wife literally just texted me too. Right before we started talking about this. Hi, honey.
Oh, boy.
Well, I had $500 was all I had in my pocket. Medical supplies, cough meds, aspirin, Tylenol, Band-Aids, that kind of stuff. For those of us who are married, feminine products, and hopefully you know what your wife uses. Stock up on some of that. Happy wife, happy life, right? If she's happy, I'm happy. Everything's what?
You'd think.
Yeah, you would think, yeah, for sure, right? Rice, flour. I do like what Jeff said there. They only the meat that you need for the next 2 or 3 days, depending on the situation. If you have no power, and coffee, sugar, honey, pasta. Basically, the main stuff. I asked the whole house. We rented this whole house in Newfoundland, and my entire family is in it. And I asked just about everybody here, what would you do if shit hit the fan? You have $500. Doesn't matter what store you're in. You had $500 cash. What are you buying? Sunscreen, propane tank, insect repellent. It's not on my list, but that too. Socks and underwear. Everybody loves socks and underwear when they're fresh. If you can't get fresh laundry, it's just a morale booster, right?
Yeah.
Soap and toothpaste. Crank radio for
point.
rapid survival, but they ain't going to get here in time.
You have little faith in my abilities.
And whatever you need to cook with: butter, eggs, yeast, butter, eggs, yeast, Gatorade powder. Everybody loves it and you can use it to barter with. And then anything else you can think of to prop up your preps.
I got to jump in here with the bartering because that's a really important point.
It is.
To build on Pierre's suggestion of hookers and blow, we could also charge admission with charge admission for that with some barter items.
Yep.
This whole thing is a hard left turn.
You guys are nice.
Oh, jeez. It's a valid point. It's an interesting way to get there. But
everybody come to Greg's house. We got something for everybody. This is like Disneyland over here, okay? This is Disneyland for preppers. We got something for everybody.
Come on down to Greg's General Store. No cash needed.
We just barter everything. There's an entrance fee, however. Yep. Jeez. Oh, man.
I need to go down and get a business license after this.
Why? Shit hit the fan.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Hell with it.
The rule of law no longer applies.
Oh, man. So I've got on my list here. I'm just going to say that I'm at the general grocery store here in town when this all happens. toilet paper right off the hop. We all saw that saved the world for COVID, right? So that's going in the shopping cart for sure. I've got, like most people have said here already on the panel, most of the staples already stored or packed away somewhere, so I'm not overly worried about that. But I'm of course going to try and top it off a little bit here and there, keeping in mind that if I know things are going south, chances are everybody else is hurt as well. So I want to grab things and get out quick. I'm going to go for some extra comfort food type of things because that's not something that I really store away now. Some snacks, chips, maybe some chocolate bars or something to kind of help boost morale on top of the food I've already got at home. Some more snacks. If I come across matches, candles, lighters, that kind of stuff as I'm going, I'm going to grab it. Of course, why not? A little bit more is not going to hurt things. I think everybody's kind of already covered off the meds on the shelf. So, if there's something good in there that I see along the way, I'll go for it. Canned food, again, same thing. If it's, I've got a good stock already, but if I'm right there and I can throw it in the cart and it fits within my $500 budget, done. And of course, can openers. Like, if I'm going to get canned food, you need can openers. It's important. Got to have at least 15 or 20 in the trunk, right?
Absolutely. 27.
I thought the magic number was like 27.
Yeah, that's 5 for bartering.
Yeah.
22 for use, because 1 is none and 22 is enough.
Absolutely.
Is it though? Is it?
So I want to touch on the can opener thing real quick because this is going to make everybody super happy.
Mm-hmm.
So as I mentioned earlier, me and my wife went camping, and for certain recipes, she ordered something from Walmart Market that she picked up after she got off from work, and we had it out. Well, she ordered the one with the pull tab. She got home. We started packing everything up. Doesn't have the pull tab. I was like, I got this. I pulled out my key ring. And like 3 months ago, I got a little surplus Army can opener. And I wrapped it in tape so it wouldn't like flop around, stab me in the leg, stuff like that. And for the first time, she used one of those little Army can openers. And she thought it was phenomenal. So now I got to put one on hers, which I thought I did, but apparently I failed and I completely forgot. I guess that was a dream, but it wasn't there. So we used mine.
Oh man.
So can opener to save the day.
Nice.
Very nice.
Happy to hear that.
I just thought about a couple other things you probably look for as well when you're scouging through the store. I know we've already touched on gas to top up the vehicles if possible. Maybe grab some jugs of oil, like the type of oil that your vehicle takes. If you don't already have some at the house, you might want that. Depending on the weather as well, if we're into the fun snow and all that garbage that's slowly creeping up on us, washer fluid. At least then you can kind of still get around. If you run out of that stuff, it kind of gets difficult to drive around in the slush and slop, right? So if you don't have some of that packed away, maybe grab some of that as well. It's all about thinking of the little things that you just grab here and there as you go. It's like I said, most of us already have enough packed away that we can live fairly comfortably for a significant period of time. But it's those little things that you don't think about that all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute. Normally I would just run out and grab that. Now I can't, right? And Scott in the live chat had a good point. It says, I'm buying lots of dog kibble. It'd be overlooked by the masses, stores easily, and has lots of calories.
Not overlooked anymore.
Awesome too. Doesn't make me want to puke at all.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Never.
No, but
it's a great barter item.
It is.
Somebody's got a couple of good watchdogs or sled dogs, and they're running out. Hey, I'll trade you, 6 bags for 4 dozen eggs, kind of thing. Keep myself going. Yeah. Keep you going too.
Yep.
So another thing I think I would add, just thought about this, is I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about this on here, but
go for it.
Stump remover and sugar. So if you run a 60-40 ratio of stump remover and sugar and you heat it up, it's going to turn into like this like peanut butter consistency, and you can stuff a piece of yarn in it or something. and put it in tinfoil. And if you light that and toss it, it actually will burn, and you can use it for a smoke signal or smoke grenade, whatever. So it burns and produces a lot of smoke. If you throw it in a house, it's going to burn the house down. It burns extremely hot.
So it's a terrible idea to throw it in the house.
Yeah, don't throw it in the house.
And so for specific legal reasons, do not try this at home.
Yeah, don't try this at home. I found a video
don't
on
try this
YouTube.
in your home.
Yeah. Hey, if there's a guy you don't like, I mean, that's on you. No, I'm just kidding. Please don't do that. I'm not trying to get sued.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and there's
Text me the guy's address later, Greg.
Yeah.
You'll be in
one
the
thing in the
clear.
life that there, Chris mentioned. I don't agree 100%. He said he wouldn't buy anything that's one-time use only, like food. I don't know why not, but none of us said, "Hey, seeds to continue to grow food you have." Ammo we mentioned, water filters, that kind of thing, but we kind of really didn't mention seeds. And yeah, if you're going to be in a shit hit the fan scenario for a while, having seeds is a excellent idea.
Oh, it's a great idea. I think he's probably trying to come to the point of why purchase food and such, because we've already got that stored away. Why add to it when you can use your money more efficiently and purchase things that are going to generate more further food down the road? It makes sense. I still want to top up a little bit, but
if I wasn't going to buy $400 worth of whiskey to show up at Greg's house, I would also add tarps, rope, and tent stakes, because you can do a lot. You can do a lot of things, whether you're traveling, whether you're at home, whether you are helping somebody out. A bunch of tarps, a bunch of like braided or twisted poly rope, and some tent stakes can do a world of good.
Yeah, and also on top of that, you can add fishing, or not fishing line, but like trot line stuff, also known as bank line. It's usually either twisted or braided. I like the twisted stuff because you can literally untwist it and have several more, strands. Every time I go to Harbor Freight or something like that, I grab a tarp off the shelf. It's like $3. So, it's just one of those things you throw in the corner. You never know when you're going to need one. So
you'll need it about the time you throw it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pierre's got a good point in the live chat here. Mentions before this scenario, every time you go to Walmart, buy the 5-pack of big lighters, and after about 6 months, you'll have a bunch for extras. It's a great point. Always add a couple little extra things here and there to your shopping trip, and then come this scenario, you might not even really have to grab anything else.
That's when you can buy $400 worth of whiskey, because you've got everything else handled.
Yep.
No, and I think that's this is a last ditch effort. But if you've been listening to any more than just this episode of our show, we always talk about adding things slowly and over time, and it's a long term process to become prepared for the average emergency / the end of the world. So absolutely, buying a couple of things here and there makes good sense, so that you're not trying to deal with this all at once.
All right, so let's add a little bit to the scenario here, just to flip the table. The $500 cash stays in your pocket, but the shit at the fan scenario still exists. Do you just start grabbing stuff and take off?
I'm breaking the glass in sporting goods at Walmart, and I'm grabbing that Beretta semi-automatic shotgun I've been looking at for a month and a half. It's $1,237. And I'm throwing my wife whatever that is right above that.
It scares me how quickly you came back with that answer.
I've really been looking at that gun for a long time. But I'm like, if I spend $1,200, if I spend $1,200 on a gun, I'm going to kick my ass, and my wife is going to kick my ass when I get home. So,
I could just
if there's no rules.
The question.
Yeah.
If there's no rules, I'm taking the keys to the store. I'm kicking everybody out, and then I'm going to start piling all the shopping carts in the vestibules.
Actually, you know what?
I'm just gonna hunker down in there, and then start zip tying them all together. Do that at Myers.
Interesting.
What is Myers?
Myers is like Walmart and Loblaws with guns all in one store.
I have
and
another
liquor.
question on top of that. What's Loblaws?
So Loblaws is like a really, really big chain of grocery stores, at least in Eastern Ontario or Eastern Canada. I don't know about the western part of the country, but started by a guy named Bob. His name was Bob Loblaw, and I don't know how true that is, but it's something that's been going around in my family for at least a generation.
It's on the internet. It's got to be true.
Exactly. No, it's a big chain of grocery stores. They're really well stocked. Some of them have clothing and like home goods. Some of them sell alcohol now. Ontario is a pitiful place for that, but it's a really, really big grocery store. Is the short answer there?
It's kind of a long answer denoted as a short answer.
Yeah,
but still.
Yes.
All the Loblaws and the Independence, the Provigo, the Metro, all of those are owned by a parent company called National Grocers. They all get their stuff from the same place.
Yeah.
President's Choice is all included in that. Independent.
Yeah. No frills. Yeah. They're all
no frills. Yeah. No frills.
So these are all grocery store chains in at least in Ontario, Eastern Canada. Don't know about the West, but yeah, they're yeah. Anyways, and to Donna's point in the live chat here, we're Canadian. If you don't spend any time in the U.S., you have no idea what a Myers is.
True.
I happen to know. I just I happen to know because I'm in kind of a border town. I'm not far from the border, so it's pretty normal for me to jump over. But if you don't live kind of within an hour of the border, it's really, really common for Canadians to never set foot in the U.S. At least outside of like the major centers where you fly in, fly out.
Yeah.
I've been to the U.S. 3 times.
I've been to the U.S. 4 times this month.
Once.
Okay, well then that's good.
What base did you fly into?
Yeah.
I actually didn't fly into Canada. I went back home to visit my dad, and we just drove across the border. This was back before you needed a passport. I want to say it was like my sophomore, junior year of high school. So, and we went to Santa Drag Strip. So,
very nice.
Yeah.
Good times.
So I want to say that was in, I want to say Saint Air's in Quebec. Not 100% sure.
It's either
it was
Quebec
a
or
long.
New Brunswick. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Which are fundamentally the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, somebody just highlighted it, but I was just going to say Pierre's got a good point there. Basically, he says grab anything you can carry and get out of there and avoid a fight. It's not worth a few extra bags of rice for a huge fight and getting injured.
Yep. Yeah, that's a great point. You kind of have to know the atmosphere or how the crowd is reacting around you, right? So if you're in that store and everybody else has heard that this big shit at the fan situation has emerged, if that whole group mentality panic starts to kick in, it's time to get out. It's like Pierre said, it's not worth the extra bag of beans or bag of rice. You should already kind of have your stuff ready to go. This is just to kind of help supplement. And yeah, read the crowd. If it's getting all amped up and people are getting funny, time to amscray.
Yeah, if it's getting that bad, and there's one thing that I can grab, at my local Walmart, like I said, I would be at Walmart. In sporting goods, there's a pair of hunting night vision binoculars. I'm going to casually walk back there, grab the night vision binoculars, and if I have to organize a team here locally and run a raid, I mean that's what I would do. But if nothing else, night vision binoculars, I'm on my own roof watching out. So
I somehow thought you were going to say you were going to grab the night vision binoculars, find the main circuit breaker for the building.
Why not?
And no one else can see anything. You're just going to grab everything that way.
Why not?
You know what? That's a better plan than mine. I retract my previous statement. I'm going to go with that.
I think yours is a little more realistic, but
I love my mom's comment in the bottom. It says you just start taking people out with what you're carrying on your person. I mean, I don't know how much ammo I have on my person, but if it comes down to that, then that is always an option for some of us. Some people don't EDC.
Canada, we don't have that option.
Yeah,
It's literally an option for one of us.
Sorry, guys.
One of us who's about to get kicked off the program. Yeah. Keep rubbing it in.
Been fun, guys.
Who's Greg?
Yeah, how you guys going?
No idea. Never heard of her.
Yeah, no, I think he's in the same group as that Ian guy. Yeah.
So something even I think kind of everybody here is forgetting, every store has a back door. You guys were all talking about
Most
grabbing all your
multiple.
stuff and heading to the front door. And Eric, you had said, read the crowd.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to grab my cart, fill it with what I need, and I'm going to head to the back door.
You're usually
While everybody's running to
no
the
more than
front
about 30 steps from an exit door.
Yeah,
That's a really good
But-
point. Yeah.
as all the security and all the cops and everything are running to the front door, my wife and I have a basket of stuff going out the back door, around the side door. Like you said, there's 30 to 50 feet between a security door, a fire door. Hop out
good
there.
Yeah.
So
The two people can lift one full basket, like one full shopping cart out, turn around and grab your other one. One person stays there, the other person goes and gets the car. Hightail it the fuck out of Dodge.
yeah, so one thing to add on to that is whenever me and my wife go to the main Walmart here, we park in the back towards automotive, and we go in that way because it's a lot less crowded. And we usually check out back there and everything too. I'm like, I'm not getting a car battery, but here's some baloney. But one thing to remember on that also is that places like that also have automatic locks on those doors. So they lock behind you as soon as you come in. So know where to look for that button that's going to release that, or be able to, get it open other ways like that. So that's something to think about. I know where the button's at.
And your worst case
Please
scenario,
enlighten
fire alarms always unlock emergency exits.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Pull the handle, out you go. I
It's
do agree
a
with,
viable option.
Yeah, I didn't think about the fire alarm.
Inspired
If there wasn't
vet there.
confusion before, there will be when you pull the fire alarm.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, strobe, sirens, mass
Yeah,
confusion.
why not, right?
So what I'm hearing from that is get the glow sticks and the EDM music.
Yes.
Sure.
I've just
Pull the
added
fire
7
alarm,
disco
hit the
balls to my
main
preps.
Find the night vision, pull the fire alarm, pull the main breaker, throw some light sticks in there, and watch the pandemonium.
And don't forget the can openers.
Right.
And again, for specific legal reasons, this is all theoretical and an absolute injustice. Nobody should.
We're
be
going to
doing
turn on
this
the
just
news
wargaming
next
here,
week, and
guys.
it's going to
At
be
all.
horrible.
Don't ever do this.
Yeah, no, it's a terrible idea. This is all hypotheticals. It's a lot of fun to think about, though.
It's
Yeah.
wargaming.
Yeah. So, Brad, you're saying about inspired vet there?
Yeah, I liked his comment there. I totally understand it there. Never separate your more vulnerable wolves hunting packs. Absolutely. But if you can get away with it, like my local Walmart where I'm from, there is a bit of a tree cover and a little bit of a hill at the back door. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. That you could probably do that. I could probably get away with it, and if not, then the two of us would help one push one cart and go back for the other one. If the first one's gone when I get there, okay, I still have another cart. I can still get back onto the pavement and get around to my car and leave. So, why not?
Yep. So King Mayhem in the chat kind of backs up the whole thought we had before of just getting out of Dodge, and says the best bet would be to stay away from populated areas. That will give you the most trouble. Do what you can with what you have and go from there. It's a valid way of looking at this. Nobody says that you have to take that $500 in your pocket and start spending it. Like you said, read the crowd. If it's going to be a volatile situation, get out of Dodge. It's time to go.
This scenario could also apply if you're in a Tractor Supply or it's in Canada now. It's PV Mart in a small town.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't necessarily have to be in a Walmart in a big city.
Nope.
No, not at all. One of the local stores to me, it's a general store, has an LCBO in it. They've got a little hardware section. Not too far down the road, there's another little town with, again, another little store and a hardware section. I could have to travel a little bit, but I could pick up quite a few things by hitting maybe 3 or 4 little towns and then go home while everybody's rushing to the big city to fill up their carts and their gas cans and everything, and I'm sitting pretty.
Yeah.
If I were at home when this happened, there's 2 towns away from me. There's a place that's it's a hardware store, like a building center. So they've got all the lumber and all the goods. It also has an automotive section. It has hunting and sporting goods. It has an LCBO. It's a LCBO outlet. It's a beer store outlet. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for just about everything except perishable food. And then they've got a hot dog cart out front, so I could just hook my truck up to it, fill everything up, and take off.
If I'm at home when this happens, and I have a way to communicate with other people I know, King Mayhem there in the comments, I'm going to give him a call. He'll be to my house in 20 minutes, and we're going to go to a general store right up the road from me, and right in that same building is a liquor store as well. At this general store, they've got livestock, they've got guns, ammo. It's a hardware store, a little local food store, and separated by one sheetrock wall, there is an entire liquor store. So that's literally everything
God
you
bless
need.
America.
Again,
Welcome to Georgia, y'all.
I agree with Alan. I'm headed to Greg's house.
So what I have learned from this discussion so far is I'm meeting Alan. We're grabbing that hot dog stand. We're spending $450 on whiskey. We're going to Greg's house, where we're going to get some glow sticks, some night vision.
I have
We're gonna
plenty.
hang out in the roof and just watch the world burn.
I can't think of a better way to spend the apocalypse.
Yep.
I literally have a drawer right next to me filled with chem lights. I'm sorry.
I have a
y'all.
supply of
Fantastic.
blue and red ones. Like we can go multicolor on this.
I got green and white, so we're good.
Perfect. We got ourselves a rave right now.
Yeah, we're just going to stop along the way and get some can openers, and we're good. I like this.
Get a big portable speaker,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody start.
Guys, I
playing
think this is the most
Confusion.
ridiculous episode we've ever done. I love it.
I don't know if it's the most ridiculous, but it's getting up there. But I like this plan. This is a totally realistic plan that's going to work out very favorably and for all of us, I think.
Oh man!
And nothing
Listen,
really go wrong.
If you hear a shotgun rack and all of a sudden you hear "Welcome to the Jungle," it's about to get wild.
Ultimately, if we are all going to Greg's house, the amount of money we could pool together to buy whiskey is a pretty good amount.
Oh my God! This keeps getting better.
I just realized that if we're all going, it's a lot of
all of a
whiskey.
sudden we've got like $2,500 in whiskey showing up at the place, and like
In one box of 12 gauge rounds, I'm like, all right, come on in, guys.
Yeah, and then we'll just go get some goats and some more ammo and guns, and everything will be fine.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Oh, that general store I was telling y'all about has a petting zoo too.
Wow.
Oh, God.
There we
Your
go.
backyard has a petting zoo now.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Yeah, this did just officially get the most ridiculous episode award, I think. Now that we have
I love
in
it.
Greg's backyard. It's fantastic.
I love it.
Absolutely. Greg, you
This
must
is-
send an address.
Yep.
I'll put it in the group chat.
I'll mail you a patch.
Yep. But yeah, and just to get us kind of back on topic, I do like the idea of going to Greg's house and spending the $450 on whiskey. It's totally going to be one of the plans. But like we've been saying, ultimately in a scenario like this, if you're in a store and all of a sudden the world's coming to an end, safety's paramount, right? Read the crowd, know what's going on, grab what you can if you can. Whether you're paying for it or not is completely up to your ethical mind and what you think falls into place at the time and what you're dealing with. And then, you should already have a fair amount already back at your various locations ready to go for a situation like this that's going to cause some issues. So I think it's fair to say that this is just kind of a last second stock up to make sure that you've got a few extra things, maybe a couple of things that you don't always stock up on that you would like to have just in case, and just get out of Dodge and get ready to ride out the wave and whatever's coming your way. Just remember, head to Greg's house.
That's
Good
right.
luck to all you.
No, in all seriousness, actually, I mean, we've laughed and we've had fun on this episode, and I love every minute of it, because a lot of times people, they do panic and they force themselves into just like being miserable. And when it comes to preparing, don't be miserable. Don't stress so much. Listen, don't stress. You're never going to make it out alive anyway, no matter what. At the end,
That's a good point.
Just learn as much as you can while you can, and just follow your gut. Read body language. I mean, watch people around you, but never panic.
That's
just try to keep a clear and level head and make your calls judged on, what you see around you. If everybody else is panicking and you're the only one that's got a level head, get the hell out of wherever you're at, because somebody who's scared is always a threat.
Absolutely unpredictable.
Yeah. You never know what people are going to do when they're panicking. So
if you can panic, keep a level head, mistakes are made. Exactly.
So keep a level head, make a judgment call. If you've got stuff at home, just go home. Yep. If it's a hurricane coming through your area, get somewhere safe. Grab what you can. I will always tell everybody, food and water is always a given, but always grab at least one firearm, because people who don't have anything, they panic and they want to loot and everything else. Just have a way to protect yourself at all times, whether it be firearm, knife, traffic cone, whatever, So
people are terrified of traffic cones. All right. With that, I think we've covered everything off. Does anybody have anything else they want to add? No? Pretty good?
No, I think we're good.
Awesome.
I think we've covered it all very, very well.
I think we have, with some humor, which is important. So let's move into the podcast challenge. So your challenge for this episode is go spend $500, preferably at Rapid Survival. No. In all seriousness, the podcast challenge for this week is just kind of put this in the back of your mind when you're out shopping. Look at the store you're at and just kind of look around and plot out, if this happens, where would I go? What would I do? If this happens, where would I go? What would I do? And just kind of familiarize yourself with your local surroundings and where you generally hang out, just to be prepared in case this kind of thing does happen.
And if you do find yourself like, hey, I really need to spend $500 on things right now to help me survive, maybe start doing that slowly. Instead of $500, spend it $10 at a time or $50 at a time, as your budget allows, so that you don't have to go out and spend $500 that you may or may not have in the moment.
Yep. Great point. All right. Upcoming events. What do we got going on, Jeff?
There is a Great Lakes Prepper Meet the 17th of September in Imlay City, Michigan. I've put a link to the website in the show notes there, greatlakepreppers.com. Yeah, it looks like it's a decent thing. Obviously, I've never been there, and considering that the government of Canada wants me to put something on my phone to come back to my own country, I won't be going, but it looks like it would be a good thing for anybody in the Michigan area. And that is the 17th of September.
Awesome. We've got another thing coming up. Yes, it's a ham radio nerd thing. We are going to retry this NVIS test. So any other ham operators that want to jump in and be part of this, we could use a few more to kind of help figure out where the propagation is, who's here and who, how we're getting out, etc. So if you're interested in partaking, the date is to be announced. It's kind of a free-floating thing, so we can kind of agree amongst the group of people that get together to do this what date and time works for everybody. So just hop on the Discord, and under the ham radio section, we'll be talking about the next time. But we do certainly want to give this
an HF?
It is HF, yeah. So good point. You will need an HF rig to do this. So like your handheld, your Baofangs, those sorts of things cannot do this. You'll need an HF rig of some sort. We'll most likely be operating on 40 and 20 meters. So you'll need an antenna that's able to do that. But just hop on over to the Discord chat in the ham radio section for some more details. And hopefully we can get this tested out and get it working. And I'll put a link in the live chat here momentarily for the Discord if anybody has not joined yet. And Jeff, you got a weather blurb.
Yeah. So the warm weather, hot weather is back for southern central Ontario. The next couple of days, they have Environment Canada has already put out an alert for severe thunderstorm with tornado risks for tomorrow. They put that out yesterday, which is highly unusual for Environment Canada. They're usually pretty slow on the uptake. So that's got me a little bit concerned. Basically, it's the bullseye's anywhere kind of southwest central Ontario, out into central Michigan, kind of around the Sarnia area and across the border there. So that will probably be sometime afternoon, late evening tomorrow. So again, as we always say, just keep your eye on the sky. Don't be scared. Be prepared. There's not really much going on the hurricane front for all of our Southern American friends. They keep saying it's coming. It hasn't arrived yet, but they're still insisting it's going to be a very active season. We'll have to see what happens. If they don't get anything in the next couple of days, it will be the first time since, I believe, 1977 or 78 that there has not been a named Atlantic hurricane in the month of August. So, yep.
And now the Atlantic Ocean is going, challenge accepted.
Yep.
Yeah. No doubt.
Oh, geez. Yeah, you just had to put that out there, eh, Jeff?
Well, things were kind of pretty quiet, so I thought I would.
Oh, no. What have you done?
And then he used the
Did
Q
he just
word?
use the Q word?
He just dropped the Q bomb.
Jeff. I thought we had a discussion about this already.
Yeah.
I'm going to Walmart with my $500.
Yeah,
now.
I'm retired now. I don't give you know what. Doesn't bother me anymore.
Oh, jeez. Well, says the retired guy. Mm-hmm. All right. So, don't have any deal of the week this week. So, oh well, nothing to go out and spend your money on except $500 at the store, because apparently Jeff dropped the Q bomb and shit's going to hit the fan.
It wasn't going to until that happened.
No, and now that that's happened, yeah, get your $500 ready, because here we go.
You couldn't have waited till I got home.
No, that's way less entertaining that way, Brad.
And all my guys are on leave right now.
Of course they are.
Great.
Oh.
Yeah. Anybody have any shout outs?
I got a couple, actually. I just want to give a shout out to my wife and my mom. I've got some really good friends showing up here in the comments. They actually support me and listen to what I got to say. So I just want to say thank y'all. Love y'all. Just keep doing what y'all are doing and working on being safe, being ready for whatever. And, I'm super proud of y'all.
Nice. Anyone else?
I think that's the nicest shout out anybody has ever given anybody on this show.
I think so. 175 episodes in, and look at that.
I don't specifically have a shout out, but I'll respond to Inspired Vet on the chat there. If you want to be part of, we don't even call it a club, you want to be part of this panel, come on in. We're always looking for people who, like-minded people like us who want to come out and share their experiences, their thoughts, whatever. Reach out to one of us, and we'll be more than happy to have you in.
Yep, you can either grab us on the Discord, flip an email to feedback@prepperpodcast.ca. And yeah, anybody's welcome to come join the panel anytime you want. We just want you to come and talk about whatever you want. And yeah, that's how the panel slowly grew. So, and now we got Greg.
Yeah. I'm here to stay, y'all.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah,
I
the last
got it.
American that said that disappeared pretty quick too. So
Oh man, that
Hold
guy
on to it.
sucks.
He stuck around for a while. He'd stuck around for a while and then
was it a while?
disappeared for a bit. Yeah, he was around for,
Yeah, I want some of these $2 Harbor Freight tarps, man. We just get absolutely hosed in Canada, eh?
we do. Yep. We absolutely.
Yeah, so I actually have a lot of those $1.99 tarps. I usually get like, I want to say they're like $3.99. They're like woodland camo, and they're nothing special or anything like that. But I literally actually used my wife's that I keep in her bag this weekend for the dogs to lay on, because in Georgia, like everything is sand for some reason. My dogs were miserable during this camp. These poor guys. But yeah, we just pulled it out of the car and laid it on the ground for them to lay on. So
Yeah, but
never know when they're going to come in handy.
You got
for
it.
$2, right? You can
Mhm.
use it once and throw it away. Who cares?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I think the least I've ever spent on a tarp was about $5.99, and it was pretty trash.
Well, if you take that $1.99 American, convert it to Canadian, $5.99 sounds about right.
Yeah, and then throw the taxes and shipping on it. Yeah.
The taxes and all that. Yep. So,
Yeah.
it's not far off, I suppose.
Conversion fees.
Yep. All right. As far as email and iTunes reviews go, the inbox is dry. So it's what it is. Got nothing to read out here for this episode. So with that, I will bring episode number 175 of the Canadian Prepper Podcast to an end. You can find the podcast on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, or of course your favorite podcast app. We may also potentially be broadcasting from Greg's place next week with our $450 worth of whiskey. So please do help us out. Take a second and submit a review. It does help other people find us.
And we do record these shows live on Facebook and YouTube, for better or for worse. If you want an early peek at the show, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Canadian Prepper Podcast, and click that notifications tab. That'll give you an alert when we're going live. If you want to reach me, you can get me directly at Alan, that's with one L, at prepperpodcast.ca.
And if you want to reach me, you can just send an email to feedback@prepperpodcast.ca, and the carrier pigeon will eventually get it to me.
Yeah, as soon as we figure out the NVIS stuff.
Or until Eric
Brad.
starts running low on beer and then goes down to gyms.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah.
I can be reached at batbradcpp@gmail.com.
I can be reached at crossrifleranch@gmail.com.
All right, then please check out Rapid Survival at rapidsurvival.com. You can get me there on the live chat, or you can email me at feedback@prepperpodcast.ca. So thanks for joining us this evening. And until next time, be prepared, stay safe,
And keep learning.